Hello, everybody. This is me, Amin,
And this Alex.
and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About. And in this episode, we're going to talk about the National Immunization Program.
Yep.
So, within this week, the National Immunization Program guidebook has been published. It's already out. I think the Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin announced the immunization program, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have a lot of questions about the vaccine itself. How many people needs to be vaccinated? Where can you get the vaccine? Can you like go to a normal hospital and get vaccinated? When will you be vaccinated? How much does it cost? And is the vaccine halal? So there's tons of questions with regards to the vaccine. Obviously there are people who's like me. I'm like, okay, sure, vaccine. Get me on that bus. I wanna get that. And then there are some people who are in the middle, like, oh, I'm not sure yet. Should I get it? Is it compulsory? Am I breaking any laws if I don't get vaccinated? And then, of course, you have people who are on the extreme, which is like, okay, anti-vaxxers, like, okay, I'm not going to get vaccinated. I'm going to use natural things and COVID will stay away. So this episode will try to explain to you the whole thing about the NIP and also about the vaccine in general. I think Alex has gone through the whole gamut of information with regards to the vaccine and the National Immunization Program, and he has like a lot of things to talk about. Okay, so I'm just gonna ask you, Alex. Okay, before we start with the questions, just like a brief intro of this NIP.
Okay, so basically, this is the plan to get everyone on board on the COVID-19 vaccination. So that's what it is in a nutshell. So as you know, COVID has been disastrous. Has affected a lot of livelihoods and all that, and we cannot go back to normal life. So this is seen as a step towards normalcy. So how to get these vaccines? That the government has actually ordered a bunch of COVID-19 vaccines from different suppliers.
A bunch, you say?
Yeah, a bunch. Several suppliers. So there's like Pfizer from the US. There's also AstraZeneca from the UK. There's Sinovac and Kensan Bio from China, and so Sputnik from Russia. So there's a lot of vaccines out there, and the government's going to acquire as many vaccines as possible to get everyone protected. So that's the goal. So as mentioned by the Prime Minister, the priority will be given to the frontliners. So basically, those are people in the healthcare sectors. There's our doctors, our nurses, even our defense, our police, and also the Prime Minister himself. So he volunteered to be the first to get the jab. And that's like a sign of confidence. I'm pretty sure you've seen the same imagery from other countries like,
Indonesia,
Singapore, and all that. Yeah, even the US.
Okay, so I guess the first question that comes into my mind is like, why a bunch of vaccines? Why not one? Why is there like now, 5 you mentioned just now? There's 5 brands. Some of them are from the US, some of them are from China. One's from China.
2 from China, 1 from UK, 1 from Russia.
And 1 from Russia. So why is there like a number of vaccines out there?
Well, I think let's go look at the intent, because the intention is to get everyone vaccinated, as many as possible in the shortest time possible as well. So to rely on one supplier is going to be very tough. It's going to be challenging, because imagine this supplier is going to supply to many countries around the world. So it's quite dangerous to rely on one supplier. What happens if you procure and they couldn't deliver on time? And that's going to have a delay in terms of our vaccination program. So that's the reason why we have multiple suppliers. And of course there are people who are sharing concerns like, hey, but this one, I heard this one's better, this one's not so good. Some got better efficacies because there are different type of vaccines, because you have the the mRNA type of vaccines. You also have the vector type of vaccines, in also the deactivated virus type vaccines. So of course different vaccines have different mode of transport. Some you need like extra cold refrigerators to keep them in a stable condition. Some has lower efficacy rates, but the ultimate goal is just get everyone vaccinated as soon as possible.
Okay, so I guess my next question to that is, okay, so the more types of vaccines you have out there means that you don't get the supply chain is less likely to be disrupted. There's about 30 million people in Malaysia, and I think you need about double double the number of vaccines at least to take into account the ones that get damaged or the ones that expired or the ones, all those things.
Yep.
So you need at least double. I guess my next question was, and then I think you kind of answer it partially. Is like, okay, is there a vaccine that works better than another one? Like, and then I guess then my other question is like, if I do get immunized, vaccinated, am I able to choose which one I want?
Well, like you point out rightly, yeah, they are different efficacy. So right now, in terms of the trial results, Pfizer is the one on top right now with a rating of 95%. And also you have the Sputnik that's rated at 91.6%, and the rest is about 60 to 90% around there.
Wow, 60%
Yeah,
effectiveness.
yeah, efficacy rates. Yeah.
That's not good.
Well, but the thing is, if you get everyone vaccinated, then you can create herd immunity. Well, it's some sort of protection. It's better than not having the vaccine at all.
Better than nothing.
Better than nothing. Yeah.
Okay, and yeah. So yeah, go ahead.
And in terms of the looking at the portfolio, because the government has shared it in the document, like how many vaccines they have acquired. So Pfizer, they procure enough Pfizer doses to cover 50% of the population. So you have like 50% chance to get Pfizer.
So the government has procured enough to cover 50% of the population. So that's about 15 million people.
For Pfizer.
Yes.
But overall, the government has procured 66.7 million doses. So that can cover more than the population, 109%.
Okay, and that's standard practice, right? I mean, you need to have, again, I said that you need to have more vaccines than the population just to make sure for all events and eventuality. Is there the vaccine? I was told is more than one dose, right?
Yeah,
for all of them.
Most of them, like Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Sinovac, even Sputnik, you need 2 dosage. So you get the first jab, and normally a week or 2 later, you get a second jab to get the full protection. And Sinovac is the only one that, sorry, not Sinovac, CanSino Bio from China is the only one that requires 1 dosage.
Okay, now let's talk about timeline. When is the first Malaysian going to be I don't want to say the first Malaysian, because there are Malaysians who are in Singapore, who are in the US, who are in the UK that's already been vaccinated, and a lot of these countries are already now returning to normalcy, and that's great. And I can't wait for Malaysia to be like to start the vaccination program. I guess my question is, when is the vaccination program starting in Malaysia, and who gets it first? Like, I know that there is like a national registration program as well.
Yeah,
I'll get into some of the questions there, because like, why do we need to register? Blah blah blah. But my first question is like, when is this starting?
Okay, so the first batch of Pfizer COVID-19 vaccines will arrive on the 21st of February, and they was going to start vaccinating people on the 26th. And
wow.
Yeah, so
this month.
Yeah, this month. And like I said earlier, Muhyiddin will be the first to get the jab. And of course, that's a confidence booster to show that, this is safe, I'm okay, so you should have nothing to worry about. And the vaccination program comes in 3 phases. So there's phase 1, 2, and 3. The first phase is prioritized for frontliners. So that's going to cover 500,000 people from the healthcare, defense, police sectors. And they're going to expect to complete it by April 2021. So that's the first phase. 500,000 people.
Well, 2 months. 500,000 people in 2 months.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. And the second phase will be...
Wait. Yep. 500,000 people in 2 months. That means they get both of the dosages?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because the second dosage just comes in like in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. And the second phase, Malaysia is prioritizing the elderly, senior citizens, and those who are having like illnesses, like what they call
asthma and stuff.
NCDs, like your diabetes, heart illness, and all that stuff.
Okay.
So that's going to cover 6.5 million people, and that's going to run from April until August 2011.
So these are
2021.
Senior citizens who are what, 50 and above? So
60 and above.
Okay, 60 and above.
Yeah.
So do they need to register now?
Registration.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll talk about registration later.
Okay, so the second phase is senior citizens and people with NCDs. Yep. Or just senior citizens and senior citizens with NCDs.
With illnesses, NCDs, as well as OKU, people with disabilities.
So it's senior citizens and people with NCDs. They might not be senior citizens.
Yep, it could be young. Yeah.
And OKU.
Yes.
Okay, NCDs are do we have the classification of what they are? So heart diseases.
They say chronic diseases like heart illness, obesity, diabetes, and high blood pressure.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
and by the way, if you guys are wondering what NCD is, it's non-communicable diseases that you cannot get by infection. It's something that you already have. Okay, then the next phase would be?
The rest of us. So that includes all adults aged above.
Man, that means we get it next year.
No, it's this year. Don't worry. Wait for it. So the final phase is targeting adults above 18 years of age. And this is very important because this is where we can accomplish herd immunity. And that's going to run from May this year.
Wow.
Until February 2022.
May.
Yeah, and this is going to cover 16 million people.
Oh, then it's possible for us to have Selamat Hari Raya because May is Raya time. May-ish, I think. I can't remember. But yeah, wow. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
How do I... you didn't mention one other group. So the last group, the biggest group, which is how many people again?
The final group is 16 million.
Okay, 60 million of Malaysians 18 and above.
Yep.
You didn't mention kids. So what's going on with that?
So kids are not covered. So as explained by KJ, who is the minister in charge of the coordination efforts, children will not be included in the vaccination program because there is no clinical trials yet on children. So we don't know how safe it is and what's the effects on children. So that's the reason why we are targeting adults only, 18 and above.
So how would that work then? I mean, would that mean then kids can get COVID? Like 18 and below, they can get COVID or
Yeah, right now actually there are kids who died of COVID like very young
No,
age.
I mean, okay, so children are like, I know in terms of numbers, children are the least affected, and I know in terms of numbers, COVID-19 affects more towards the older people and people with chronic diseases like asthma and obesity and things like that. So I know that, but you also mentioned that there is a likelihood of kids getting the disease.
Yep.
So does that mean the kids can't go to school? Because the problem is, a lot of people can't go to work because they have kids at home.
Correct.
So is this like a problem then?
I think right now it could be a problem, which means that kids cannot go back to the normal lives just yet. But there's hope. There's a light in the end of the tunnel because, like I said earlier, the reason why they don't vaccinate kids because there's no clinical trials. It's not approved for kids yet because we don't know what's going to happen. You're going to test them if kids gets the jab. But recently, at the time of this recording, AstraZeneca from the UK, they're going to start COVID-19 trials on children. So hopefully, once that's done in a couple of months' time, maybe children will be included at the end of the year. I'm just saying, don't quote me on that, but trials are being conducted as we speak.
Okay, and at the same time, I mean, the number of people who are vaccinated will help build herd immunity for the kids. So I again, I'm not an expert on this, but I think it should be okay.
Yep.
I for one can't wait to go back to sending my kids to school. To be honest, I think, and I'm sure if you guys are parents and viewing this show or listening to this show on podcast, you feel the same. I mean, they lost like a year just staying at home, not going to school. So that's a major thing.
Yeah, it's like a lost generation, right?
I wouldn't say like a lost generation lah. I mean, it's only a year.
Yep.
They'll grow out of it. I mean, kids are resilient.
Yeah, but going back to the initial plan, like why kids? But if you think about it, right, if you look at the COVID situation, the most vulnerable are those who are elderly.
Yep.
Those who are
not fit
as well. So I guess the most important is we cover the high risk groups.
Yeah.
Because you've seen like the deaths that we have in Malaysia. Most of them are senior citizens, and some of them are younger adults, but they have illnesses like high blood pressure and all that. So I guess the most important is to let's address the high risk group first.
Okay, so how do I get to the front of the line?
You just use this promo code. I'm just kidding. So
Promo code vaccine SC. No, guys.
No.
We don't have a promo code.
Good.
Yeah. So okay, I'm probably the last batch lah. But let's say I'm like the first batch. I have a chronic disease and I'm 40 years old. I have a chronic disease. I want to get to be the first or among the first to be vaccinated in April, right? So how do I do that?
Okay, so first things first, this vaccination is not mandatory. It's all done voluntarily.
What?
Yeah, so it's not mandatory. So you can choose not to
Good
be
for you
vaccinated.
guys, anti-vaxxers.
Yeah, but I got a message for you after this. So anyway, So it's you need to opt in. You need to give your consent to be vaccinated. So that's why the government wants you to sign up. It's like a registration interest. You know, like when smartphones are being launched, you know, I want to register my interest, you know, that kind of thing. So you need to register your consent.
Yep. Okay.
That you want to be vaccinated.
Not register, like you are giving your consent. Like, okay,
Yes.
this is me, Amin, this is my profile, and I agree to be vaccinated.
Yeah. So that's going to start on the 1st of March 2021. And there's 5 ways to do so.
Okay.
And
like an app?
Yeah. And the easiest one, of course, is My Sejahtera. So there's going to be a section in My Sejahtera whereby you can actually opt in to register for the vaccination.
But it's not available now, right?
Not available now. It's going to be available on the 1st of March.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So, My Sejahtera is, of course, the best app.
So anyway, My Sejahtera, I think that should be the easiest way because most of you, probably even the ones who are watching right now, you should have a My Sejahtera app because it's the de facto contact tracing app. And you have most Malaysians have it in a phone, so you just open the app and just sign up for the vaccine. If you don't have My Sejahtera, the next best option is to go to the website. So on the National Immunisation site, the Vaccine COVID website, there's a form for you to register as well. So that's the second best option.
What is the website?
The COVID website, the vaccinecovid.gov.my.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna put it up here.
Vaccinecovid.gov.my.
Got that? Okay. And then of course the next option for those who don't have internet, you don't have an smartphone.
You don't need vaccine.
But you have a phone. If you don't have a phone, at least you can use a public.
How the hell you live in 2021 don't have internet?
Maybe, who knows? You don't have internet.
I'm sorry, I don't know a situation. Okay lah, I don't want to sound insensitive. I shouldn't say that. Okay, if you don't have internet, but you have phone.
Yeah, like like a 2G phone. Oh, by the way, 2G is going to be shut down really soon. I say not 2G, 3G is going to be shut down very soon.
Okay, let's not confuse people. Yeah. So, if you don't have internet but you have a phone, you can call in.
Yeah, you can call in. They're going to provide a number for you to call in so that you can actually opt in.
So they haven't provided a number.
Not yet. And then, of course, the next option would be to walk in. So hospitals and clinics from both private and government sectors.
Wow.
Yeah, you can actually walk in and register your consent because when you register, right, it's not just about giving your consent, but also to set an appointment. So by then when you register, you should be able to know when you're going to get the jab.
Oh, wow. So it will tell you like, okay, congratulations, I mean, you've given your consent. Your vaccination date is 1st of April, 2020, April Fools.
Yeah, you need to set a date, yeah.
So ideally, that is what the government is saying lah. But
it's like, when you buy shop from Tesco, you need to book your slots.
Yeah, I want to be optimistic about this. But look at it this way: the number is huge. We are vaccinating almost all of the people in Malaysia,
including foreigners.
And there's 1 million, 2 million foreigners. So that's about 30 million plus people, excluding children lah. So about 30 million people. The data is huge. The load and technology requirements to develop such a system is mind-boggling. I mean, it's not impossible, but I've not seen it done in Malaysia at this scale in terms of time. Like in such a short time span, a lot of people is gonna access this database and they're gonna put in their data. And based on the experiences we've seen with things like iSINA and ePenjana and all that, all of the things will crash.
And I think this is actually more complicated than iSINA and Penjana because iSINA is based on the EPF because they have one central database, and then like for the e-wallet thing, they rely on like LSG and Inland Revenue Board information. Yeah. So there's one central database. But for this effort, it's going to be more complicated because you have a lot of databases to manage because you have My Sejahtera, you have the website, you have call-in, which is going to be very manual. Like for example, call-in, right? How are you going to verify the information? That's another thing.
How are you going to verify the information? And that lends itself to like another error problem because the data entry person is gonna have a problem. And okay, speaking of which, with regards to phones, I foresee that this is going to be a problem because people will naturally gravitate to the path of least resistance. And what's going to happen is, we know, I don't want to say for a fact, but we know from history and from all the things that we've seen when people search to government databases all at once, the database will crash, the apps will crash, the websites will crash, everything will crash. and people will start calling, and people will start walking in, and you might so walk in. The problem with that is you might create a cluster.
Yeah.
The calling in, it will just get inundated. So I'm worried about this, and we don't have like a proven history of building websites and technology that work when it comes to huge databases.
Yeah, look at the MySejahtera app. When the government announced that, you need the MySejahtera app to download to get the 50 ringgit e-credit, then the website, the whole system just crashed. Yeah.
So the government, the Prime Minister, and even KJ, the guy that's responsible for all of this, has not come out to give any assurances other than the number of vaccines have been acquired. So the issue here is, you have all the vaccines, and I have to tell you that these vaccines have a shelf life, and you have to deploy it as soon as possible, and some of them require very specific storage conditions. Some of them have to be stored in negative 60 degrees Celsius just before administering the vaccine.
Yep.
So the risk of these vaccines becoming spoiled because of this problem with logistics and database is a real concern, and nobody has come out other than the NIP, and you've gone through the NIP. It doesn't mention anything about logistics. It doesn't mention anything about where you can get the vaccines, or it does.
It does actually. So about logistics, actually KJ mentioned this before. So Malaysia is acquiring a couple of like ultra cold freezers. I think there's 55 of them to deploy in urban areas. That's what the Pfizer one.
Okay.
And in fact, they did a dry run. So last month they actually did a dry run to like transport like an item at very cold temperatures all the way to Belaga in interior in Sarawak.
They did that,
and it worked. So they passed that. So cool. I think we got our logistics sorted.
How many they did? If they did one, of course I can. That's like delivering a pizza. I mean, you gotta deliver like 10,000.
Yeah, I mean, for me, they did try. I mean,
I'm skeptical
they have things in preparation. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, I agree. I mean, yes, there are people. I want to come back to what I said, right? So the people who are in government, yes, as much as we like to think that they are not so smart or whatever, I think not most, but some of them have the best interests of people and the nation at heart. And I got to give them credit. For those of you who are in the government service watching, thank you very much for doing this. But the intent fails when it comes to execution because politicians, just like how we are in this mess right now, we were on track to be okay. We had 0 cases for a couple of weeks at one time.
A couple of days.
Okay, a couple of days at one time. And then because of this by-election in Sabah, we are in this predicament. And it's all because of politicians. And naturally, all these people will want to get credit. Naturally, everybody will want to go to the front and say, I did it. And I'm not a fan of KJ. I'll come out and openly say that. I don't think he has a great track record. He did mention when the COVID first broke out in Malaysia, he was the first to come out and say that he was going to develop a contact tracing application, and it will be the application that will be used as on a national level.
Like that, and he also mentioned that he's going to be using the Google Apple notification feature.
Yes.
Yeah.
That has not come to fruition, and it doesn't take. And we're almost towards the end of our COVID battle, and he has not done anything about it. It's forgotten. Yep. So he doesn't have a good track record. I don't. I mean, first of all, why KJ?
Well, I don't know how it happened, but I guess maybe because his portfolio, there's the word technology inside of it. So, science and technology innovation.
That means what?
I don't know, but basically he's assigned for the job. I guess he's the next best person to handle this.
No, the thing is, if he's accountable and he'll come out and say, okay, we did something wrong, we're going to learn from it, then I don't mind. If he has a history of doing that, then I don't mind. But he doesn't have a history of doing that. He only comes out when there's something to claim and when there's credit to be taken. And I know that on a personal level, and I'm not happy about it. Okay, I forgot the questions I was supposed to ask.
Okay.
Okay, do we have to pay? I'm sorry. Do we have to pay for the vaccination? How much do they cost?
Okay.
Wait.
Before that,
sorry. I want to come back to the registration. So they haven't put anything with regards to the sample registration. They haven't mentioned the information required for the registration, right? They only give like a kind of like a picture lah, like a description, like okay, this will be used for knowing your condition and all that stuff, your age and your demographics and things like that. My question is, let's say I'm healthy. Can I go in and say, oh look, I'm a dying guy?
No, I think
can the system be game? How do you verify that?
well, the thing is, after you register, you can set a date, but you need to go through a consultation as well. So I guess if you're lying, they can catch you out and say, "Hey, back of the line."
Okay, so the process now is, number one, I got to register.
Yep, set appointment.
Set an appointment for the vaccination.
Yep.
And before that, I have to go for a consultation.
Yeah, they need to check your temperature, verify your identity, and then go for consultation. Once that's done, then you can go for the jab.
Okay, so and have they detailed this out? So I'm assuming the process is after I've gotten a date for my vaccination, then I can go to a consultation at any time I want, just as long as it's before the vaccination date.
I would say you need to go to the exact appointment date. It's like you book a slot, like you register.
No, I mean like okay, so so you do the consultation just before the vaccination.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to make sure that you're okay or whatever, and to make sure that you're really who you are, because they need to verify identity as well.
Okay, so I can understand with regards to the technology part. Yeah, maybe KG can set up the website, can set up the app, can fix the MySejahtera app. He can do that, but who's talking to the hospitals, the logistics of delivering? There's no new technology here. People deliver vaccines every day.
And I haven't finished yet, actually.
Okay,
so
sorry.
apart from the hospitals and clinics, the administration, there's also an outreach program. So that's to get the senior citizens staying in rural areas, in interior towns, to register. So there's an outreach program to go out there and get people registered. So what I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of data points out there. Your MySejahtera, you have a website, you have call in, you have the hospitals and clinics, including private hospitals and clinics, and then you have this outreach program. There's so many points of information. Like my concern is there a way to centralize the database together? And what if someone registered and then they didn't pass through? Like how warranty issues are like for example, you send a device in for warranty to this dealer, and this dealer never sent a HQ. Things can get lost in halfway.
It gets lost in translation. It doesn't account for, I don't know whether they've account for duplication. KG has not come out as the technology minister. He doesn't come out that, okay, to address all these things, we are doing this. So I don't know.
For me, it's like,
I'm now more worried.
Yeah, for me, it's like, they should do something like how EPF does it. Like one place to do it. Do it online. Don't call in. Don't come to our branch. Just do it online website. If you don't have to do online website, if you come to our branch, we'll get someone to help you to submit it online to the same database.
Yes, and that's right. And if you want to do it online, do the outreach, get them to register online.
Yeah.
Because again, the outreach program, scammers, there's so many things that can go wrong, and all these things have not been addressed. Now, I was optimistic before because I thought we could get vaccinated towards the end of this year, but now I'm like, I don't know, man.
I think we can get vaccinated this year. I think the concern is these things because, like, for example, I think the concern is real. Like, for example, contact tracing on MySejahtera. The reason
it doesn't work. It's BS.
Because I think there's so much data to handle. And, like, for example, who's going to call the people?
No, like this, okay? My own experience. Somebody I know has COVID. And I don't know how it works. Okay, so from my own experience, it's like this. A person has COVID, and we went to like a place and scanned MySejahtera together. So that person has COVID, and I don't have COVID, right? That person, the MySejahtera app didn't even notify me.
Yeah, so that's a concern. So there's disconnect. And like, for example,
no, the thing is that happens all the time. Everybody that has COVID, like the MySejahtera, has any of you got notification of COVID alert that somebody or somebody within your vicinity?
Nope.
Doesn't work. The app sucks.
And even like right now, right? You need to go in manually, check hospital. Oh crap! I got 70 cases near me. Only then you realize. Yeah. So that's the concern, and I think
the simplest thing to solve, KG cannot solve. So how?
MySejahtera is not under jurisdiction though.
It's technology.
Yeah. By right. Okay, by right, his Bluetooth app supposed to solve this because Bluetooth app supposed to be automated, and that should ping people who are in close proximity.
By right, the app doesn't even exist. That's the problem. Then he's going to say, oh, I'm busy with this COVID vaccination thing. It's more important now. We have MySejahtera, we'll use that.
Yeah, just to make it clear, the thing is, the government has done a lot of effort, and I think
I
it's
agree.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna put them down for that.
the intention is good. The problem is managing it. That's a different ballgame altogether.
Yes.
How to get it work? How to avoid getting into a messy situation like this?
There's this Malay saying lah, niat tidak menghalalkan cara. So your intent doesn't mean that you can do anything. Okay, I guess the saying is wrong. No, what I'm trying to say is you can have all the best intentions. Madonna said this: good, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Did she say that?
Yeah, she said that in the song.
Okay.
So I don't know. Okay, so now come back to the cost. Do I have to pay for this? Do I have to pay? Again, scammers is gonna come in and say, "Oh, you want to get registered? Or I can bring you to the front of the line for COVID. Pay X amount of money."
That's a concern. Like for example, people can just discuss and say, "Oh, I'm the outreach agent."
Hello, Encik Alex. Saya daripada pejabat rasmi vaksinasi COVID-19. Saya boleh mendapatkan Encik Alex appointment besok. Tapi Encik Alex kena bayar RM5,000.
Yeah, so that's a concern. So
you know, it's legit, yo. It's gonna happen.
And that's the reason why EPF for IC now, right? It's only one place to do it. Online. Don't bother calls, don't bother walk in, don't entertain any third-party agent. Just do it online. One single source, you won't get scammed. No apps, no nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's come back to the point here. Cost.
How
much is it?
Zero. Free.
Ooh. Zero.
Cuma.
Nada. Kosong.
Yeah.
Sifar. Telur.
Yeah, 免费, zero. So don't pay a single cent for it. So it's fully subsidized by government, free of charge. And this also includes foreigners, even undocumented migrants.
Why foreigners, man? Why?
Because we need to get everyone covered. Because it's not just about us. We need to protect everyone. Because
send them back.
that's not right. The thing is, okay.
No, don't take it serious. I'm just joking, dude.
He's not joking.
I am.
Okay. Yeah, because what the government said, right? Because they consider a few factors why we need to vaccinate them.
Okay.
Because number one is that if we don't protect them, they will infect us, and that's going to be a huge cost to us as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Why you want to spend money to kill people when you can protect everyone to prevent this from happening in the first place?
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. So that's why foreigners will get it also, and they'll get it for free. Right?
Yeah, and then also like we said earlier, we need to build herd immunity.
But the thing is, it's not compulsory, so foreigners can just say, "F it, beep it, I don't want it."
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Okay.
So
then that comes back to this question, right? There is no proper education campaign to assure people that, hey, this vaccine is safe. The biggest problem right now is misinformation. And when it comes to vaccines, people have all sorts of beliefs, and that's the reason why anti-vaxxers exist. But there are people who can be convinced to take the vaccine. But there has not been an outline of how we're going to educate these people. You know, the ustad, the ustazah, the pastors, or people who have religious clout, right? They can help.
Yep.
I don't see any announcement of people reaching out to do this. I don't know. There's no campaign with regards to what the vaccine is and stuff like that. There's no videos. There's nothing.
Hopefully they're going to start rolling when this video goes out. But for me, is that we need.
I like your optimism, Alex.
You need to be optimistic. For me, it starts from here. That's why we're doing this show to get everyone informed.
Yes, you're right. I believe in that.
Yeah, okay, going back to the misinformation. So one of the common misconceptions that this vaccine is dangerous. People died of it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah, but the thing is,
it's only probably like 2-3 people.
Yeah, the thing is, okay, number one, I want to make it clear that all vaccines have side effects.
Yes.
Yeah, because you're going to get fever. The thing is, if you've got this kind of signs, it's actually good, which means that your body is working on it. Yeah, you're actually responding to the vaccine. So side effects are normal, and of course, some people with illnesses, they might have more complications. That's normal.
Yep.
And based on the recent deaths, right? I think Vox did a video about it. So it turns out that nobody died from the vaccine yet.
Oh,
proven, because a lot of deaths is a result of something else, not entirely the vaccine.
Oh,
same goes.
Yeah.
So like for example, like not all deaths are related to COVID. So a COVID patient can die, but might not necessarily die from COVID.
Yeah. So if you have COVID and you die in a car crash, did COVID kill you?
Exactly. It's a car crash. So you can tie it back. So same as vaccines as well. So think about this. You're so scared about dying from COVID vaccines more than getting COVID. I mean, where are your priorities? It's like saying that, you know what, I don't wear seatbelt because other people die from seatbelts. So you're not going to wear seatbelt and you're going to expose yourself to higher risk. Yeah.
But the thing is, when it comes to things like this, it's very personal. Number one, people, they don't like to be proven wrong. And if you are very convicted in believing in the anti-vax movement, you're going down a rabbit hole that you might not be able to come out from. Okay, I guess any form of education might not help these people lah, but I would really like to see a national education program with regards to the National Immunization Programme, because that hasn't happened yet.
Yep. But on another angle, right, I think there's one motivator for people to get vaccinated. Because when you get vaccinated, each of us, you're going to get like a digital certificate to prove that you're being vaccinated. And why is this important? Because moving forward, right, I would foresee that vaccination will be like a passport for a lot of things. Number one, air travel. A lot of airline CEOs have mentioned that, they're going to make vaccination as a prerequisite before you can fly. If you want to stick to a metal tube with 100 over people, you got to be vaccinated, man. If you're not vaccinated, you can't fly. So that's going to be one of the requirements coming soon. And that's probably going to be a requirement for big events. For example, you want to go concert, not vaccinated, sorry, but you can't go in. So with that in line, right, I think most people are more encouraged to be vaccinated. Because if you're not vaccinated, you can't join the crowd.
Yeah.
You're going to be staying home most of the time.
Yeah, I agree. So, Alex, how many people can be vaccinated in a day?
Well, according to the Health Minister, Dr. Adham Baba, he said that in Malaysia, there's going to be like 600 vaccination centers. And each center, there's going to be 7 vaccinators who can do 30 per day. So that's equivalent to 126,000 per day.
126,000 per day.
Yep.
600 vaccination centers.
Yes, and
why do I feel like there's more KFC than vaccination centers? I think there's 1,000. Okay, no. I think there's 100 KFC outlets. I don't remember, but
more than 100. Definitely.
600 doesn't sound a lot for Malaysia.
Because it's going to cover hospitals, clinics, health offices.
Doesn't sound a lot. I mean, like,
I think it's going to be selected because, like...
It's not all, is it?
It's not all. Like, for example, like the Pfizer vaccine, I think they only have 55 the ultra-cold storage units. So I guess that's why they selected a specific spots and distributed nationwide.
Okay, so let me do like a calculation here. 600 divided by 14, because we have 14 states. That's only 42 outlets per state.
I think some states going to get more than some other states.
And this is average.
Yep.
So some state, like, I don't know, some state could end up with 10.
Yeah, or maybe fewer, like smaller states like Perlis. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know. This discussion has left me with more questions than answers, unfortunately. Usually in Let's Talk About, we try to provide more answers than questions. But I think what we all need to do is we need to stay safe and keep everybody safe, right? So the first thing that we all need to do, despite all the questions and skepticism that we have, is we must go out and register.
Yeah, register starting from 1st of March, get an appointment done, and you can get a jab. And once you get a vaccine, then you get a digital, like a certificate, then you can go back to normal life. And also, I forgot to mention one more thing. Even after you get the vaccine, you still need to comply with SOP. You still need to wear a mask and all that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you still need to wear a mask.
Oh, man, that sucks.
Well, to protect everyone. And to be fair, it's also like a psychology thing. Like, for example, you walk down the street, right, and then you see a guy not wearing a mask. Hey, I also can do that too.
Oh, true.
Yeah, it's also, to make sure that everyone complies.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, guys, I think we've covered everything there is to be covered with regards to vaccination, the National Immunisation Programme. This is, of course, with regards to information that we have on hand right now. On the day of recording is the 18th of February today. Obviously, the next coming days, more and more information will be made available. So some of the information that we talked about here might not be
relevant,
so up to date, but I think we've put in all the critical and pertinent points when it comes to your safety, security, and privacy when it comes to registration for this NIP program. Oh yeah, is the vaccine halal?
Not exactly halal, but according to the document, it's harus.
Okay, when you say not exactly halal, that's quite scary. Okay, it has not been certified halal.
Yeah, not certified yet.
But obviously, when it comes to medicine, okay, everybody has like their own opinion on this. I'm a Muslim as well, and I believe, this is what I believe based on the guidance and what I've read and what I practice. When it comes to medicine, it's fine. It's like you say, it's harus. Harus is like it's a must. If you can, if you ada kemampuan, you boleh lakukan, then lakukan. Harus. And medicine can come from many sources. And to say that if a medicine is based on alcohol, which is something that is haram, obviously we can't say that vaccine is that medicine is halal because it has alcohol. But we can say that because it's medicine, it's something that you can take to make you feel better.
This is life saving as well.
Yeah. So to answer your question, no, it's not, or not certified yet.
Not certified yet.
But the council, the Islamic Council, has decreed that it is something that you must do if you can. We call that harus. Okay, so I don't think it's a concern for me. All right. So if you guys have any questions about the National Immunisation Programme, any thoughts, anything that comes in your mind with regards to, do you have any concerns? What are your concerns? Are they the same with us? Put them in the comment section below. We want to know. And I can tell you, people up there, the government, are listening to our show and they are reading our website. So I'm sure they read your comments as well. So have your voice heard and put it in there. Anything else you want to add, Alex?
Well, until then, stay safe.
Stay safe. Get registered from the 1st of March. Okay, guys. Make sure you install the application My Sejahtera right now on your phone if you don't have it already. And all the best. I hope you guys become one of the first to get the vaccines before us. May everybody stay safe. Okay, I think we've approached the end of the show today. I hope you guys find it useful. I just want to remind everybody we are also available on a podcast. So just search for soyachinchao.com. Just search for Soya Chinchao. Let's talk about on Spotify, on Google Podcasts, on any of the podcast platforms that you're listening to, and we're there. If you're listening to us on podcasts, please do give us a 5-star rating. If you like the show, that helps us a lot in getting the show to more and more podcast listeners out there. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to give us a like if you like the show, if you find it informative and useful. Share it to other people that might find it informative and useful. Drop us a comment if you have any questions, concerns, or thoughts about what we've talked about today. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to our show because we like you guys. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Thanks very much for watching, guys. This is me, Amin.
And this is Alex.
Catch you guys later. Stay safe. Bye.
Bye.